The story of Sabrina Carpenter looks like an overnight success from the outside, but that idea completely falls apart the moment you look a little closer. Because behind the viral songs, sold-out shows, and global recognition of 2024, there's a full decade of quiet struggle that most people never saw. Before the fame, before the charts, before the world started paying attention, she was just a young girl with a dream, sitting in her room and uploading covers online, hoping someone, anyone, would listen. There was no guarantee it would work, no audience waiting for her, no roadmap to success. Just consistency, belief, and the courage to keep showing up even when it felt pointless. Her early breakthrough didn't even come from music. It came from acting, especially when she landed a role in Girl Meets World. For many people, that would have been the destination. A steady career, recognition, and a clear future in entertainment. But for Sabrina, that was never the end goal. Music was always the bigger dream, and chasing it meant stepping into one of the toughest transitions in the industry, trying to be taken seriously as a musician after being known as a Disney star. Still, she moved forward. She released her debut album Eyes Wide Open, followed by Evolution. The effort was there, the talent was obvious, but the results didn't match. There were no massive hits, no explosive rise, just something much harder to deal with, being overlooked. And that phase is brutal, because you're working just as hard as someone successful, but without any recognition. No applause, no validation, no clear sign that you're moving forward, but instead of slowing down, she kept pushing. She kept refining her sound, growing as an artist, and building her identity. Projects like Singular, Act 1 and Singular. Act 2 showed progress, but still no major breakthrough. At the same time, she had to deal with public scrutiny, online narratives, constant pressure, and opinions from people who didn't know her story. Instead of letting that define her, she turned it into fuel, channeling those experiences into her music. That shift became clear with Emails I Can't Send. This project felt more real, more honest, and more personal. People started to connect differently. Her fanbase grew stronger, and the industry finally began paying closer attention. Still, she wasn't at the top yet, but she was getting closer. Then came 2024, the year everything changed. With songs like Espresso, she didn't just enter the mainstream, she dominated it. The song was everywhere, turning into a cultural moment, and suddenly, people started saying she came out of nowhere. But the truth is, this was 10 years of effort finally being recognized all at once. That's what makes her journey powerful. It's not just about talent, it's about persistence. It's about continuing when there's no guarantee of success, no visible progress, and no validation. Because during those years when it felt like nothing was happening, everything was actually happening. She was improving, learning, and becoming ready for the moment that was coming. And here's something even deeper most people don't realize. Success didn't just come because she worked hard, it came because she kept evolving. She didn't stay the same person hoping for different results. She experimented, she adapted, she took creative risks, and she allowed herself to grow beyond the version of her that the world first saw. That willingness to change is what separates people who stay stuck from those who eventually break through. By the time success arrived, she was ready, not just as an artist, but as a person. She knew who she was, and that's why it worked. Because success isn't just about getting an opportunity, it's about being prepared when it comes. Now think about your own journey. Whatever you're working toward right now, you're probably in the hardest phase, the invisible phase. The part where progress feels slow and quitting feels easier, but that's where everything is being built, even if you can't see it yet. Every small effort, every failed attempt, every lesson, it's all stacking up in ways that will matter later. Because just like Sabrina Carpenter, you don't need instant success. You need consistency, patience, and the discipline to keep going even when results don't show up immediately. You need to trust that what you're doing today is creating something bigger for tomorrow. Don't quit just because it's taking time. Don't let silence convince you that you're failing. And don't let other people's timelines rush your journey. Success doesn't happen fast, it happens when preparation meets opportunity, and that only comes to those who stay committed long enough. So keep going. Keep improving. Keep believing, even on the days when it feels difficult. Because one day, everything you're doing right now will start to make sense. One day, your effort will turn into results, and people will see what you've built without ever seeing what it took. And if you want more stories like this that don't just inspire you but push you to become better, make sure you subscribe, because your journey is just getting started.